Oh, hello. Here's a sample exam question. Remember, it is not an actual final exam question. It is simply giving you a sense of an actual final exam question. Assume the rational self-interested owner of 20 tennis courts is a monopolist. The marginal cost to the owner of renting out each court is constant at $10 per court. Assume the monopolist faces a downward sloping straight line demand curve. At a price of $20 per court, no courts are demanded. At a price of $0, all the courts are demanded. How many courts will the owner rent out? What would be the allocatively efficient number of courts to rent out? Alright, let's answer this question as best we can graphically, given the information we've been provided with. On the vertical axis, we'll want the money variables, and on the horizontal axis, we want the quantity variables. So we'll put the quantity of courts here, and we'll put price, marginal cost, and say marginal revenue as well. Now, what information have we been provided with? We've been told that the marginal cost to the monopolist of providing and presumably maintaining each additional court is $10. That is, the first court will cost $10 to maintain, the second court $10, the third court $10, and so on up to the 20th court. So let's put that in. What else have we been told? We've been told that if the price was set at $20, no courts would be demanded. So at the price of $20, so we'll just go here, there, no courts would be demanded. That is, there'd be zero demand. Alright, so that means the demand curve's vertical intercept is here at $20. We've also been told that if the price were zero, then 20 courts would be demanded. So let's put in here 20 courts. So that would be the horizontal intercept for the demand curve. Well, that's all the information we've been given. How are we going to find the number of courts that the monopolist is willing to supply? Well, that's going to be determined by our rule, our equimarginal rule of marginal revenue equals marginal cost. That will give the profit maximizing output for our monopolist. We've been given information about the marginal cost, but what about the marginal revenue? Well, we can draw in the marginal revenue curve because we know what it's going to look like. It will start at the same vertical intercept as the demand curve, but it will have double the slope. It'll be twice as steep. So if we found halfway between 0 and 20, 10, that will give us a curve which is twice as steep as the demand curve, our marginal revenue curve. Now all we have to do is to find where's the output we need. It will be at this point here. What will that point be? Well, it's precisely halfway between these two, right? Because the marginal revenue curve has double the slope, so it will cut this horizontal line, the marginal cost line, at the halfway point between these two extremities, which means that it'll be 5. That will be the profit maximizing output for the monopolist. The second question was, what is the allocatively efficient output? Our rule for allocative efficiency is an output where price equals marginal cost. So where is that? That is at this point here. What output is that? It's 10. So in conclusion, the profit maximizing output is the quantity that the entrepreneur is willing to offer. It's 5 quarts. And the allocatively efficient quantity would be 10 quarts. Okay? That's the answer to that question. If you didn't want to use a graph to answer the question, you can try and figure it out algebraically. You've been told that at $20, no quarts will be demanded, and you've been told at $0, 20 quarts will be demanded. So you know that price will equal the vertical intercept, 20, minus, because it's a downward sloping demand curve, what would be the slope of this demand curve? Well, it's the change in price over the change in quantity. So if we went from 20 to 0, that change would be 20. And we would go from 0 to 20 quantity, so that's 20. So we know the slope is -1. So -1 multiplied by the quantity. There's our demand equation. We've been told that the marginal cost equation is simply 10. So that's easy enough. Alright, we know that the condition for the profit maximization is going to be at the quantity where the marginal cost equals the marginal revenue. However, we don't have a marginal revenue curve or a marginal revenue equation. How can we find that? We take the total revenue, which is price times quantity, and we differentiate it. So we need to expand this out. We take the price here and we'll put it in here. Revenue equals 20 minus Q multiplied by this Q. Now we differentiate to find the marginal revenue, and we use the power rule to do it. Alright, so now all we need to do to find where marginal revenue equals marginal cost, we want to set this equal to this. That is our profit maximizing output. If we wanted to find the optimal, the socially optimal output, our condition is where price equals marginal cost. So we take this, price equals marginal cost, this, and we should be able to find the quantity on that basis. So voila, we've got the answer to the question.